Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's show. Let me change my backgrounds. My name is, wait, get the titles, Anthony Barocas, and I am here for YOLO Live, and I welcome you to Tech Talk Wednesdays. I am here in Dallas, Texas, and I am happy to be with all of you today. Thank you for tuning in, as it were, to a streaming show. We are live on Facebook. Please be aware that we have yes, I got it right this time, a YouTube channel, and on the YOLO Live YouTube channel, you can find all of your favorite videos, including lots of tutorials, lots of information about the in-stream, and another whole set of videos all about YoloCast. So if you are new to the hardware and the software, or want to find out how to do a certain thing, very likely there's already a video on it. If you are only on YouTube, then please be aware that we have a very good official YOLO Live user group on Facebook. Thankfully, Facebook does a great job at translating, so everyone can read everyone else's question and everyone can write in their own language. And then when someone sees the comment, they can hit the little translate button and then it gets translated into their language. So that is really handy. It sort of saves from having to have although there are other language groups, but it really does make this one a lot more effective than if it was just English. And then lastly, if you are having technical issues that can't be answered in the user group, I always recommend support@yololive.com is where you can send an email directly to the team in China, and they can be looking at specific issues. Our topic is really, we're going to be talking about wireless cameras, and we always answer the questions, and then we get into this topic. But the cool thing with the YoloBox is, let me just grab another one here. The cool thing with the YoloBox is these hardwired inputs, and that is the magic of really the integration between a software tablet that gives you that touchscreen interface, and you can see it and you can act on it and you can do everything right here like an iPad or whatever. It's a touchscreen tablet, but it has physical inputs, because there are a lot of solutions out there that are iPad based, or there's a couple that are Android based. And the thing you can't do on any other tablet is physically plug your camera right into the HDMI. I don't have a cable that's long enough. Here, do. You can't physically plug, here's your camera, whatever camera it is, you can't see, it's actually a green piece of tape. So excuse the fact that the thing seems to float around. The thing you can't do is you can't just plug your DSLR in. You can't just plug your 20x long zoom camcorder right into your other tablet. With the YoloBox, you can. So you get physical plug-in capability, and you get software flexibility and upgradability. So that's the magic of what the YoloBox really offers. But what we're talking about today is people who have a cell phone, and they're like, I just want to have my cell phone come into the YoloBox because I already have the cell phone. I don't have to buy anything. Well, there's not a cell phone receiver. And there is a way, though. You could use Remote Guest, which is a function built into every YoloBox, or the YoloBox Pro, I should say, right now built into the YoloBox Pro, that you can bring in remote guests. And let's go to the Pro, and right here, and you can come down here to see the little two people, and then you can invite guests to your show, and you just send them an email link. They can get it on their phone. They use the web browser, and they are able to use their phone as like they're going into Zoom or anything else, and it connects directly into the YoloBox. You don't need a computer. You don't need any other solution, because the phone is their end. Could be a laptop, could be a desktop, but in this case, it's a phone. Now, this phone, in that case, has to go all the way to the cloud, to the internet, and then come back down. And if you're doing a wireless camera in the same venue as you're doing a local camera, you're going to see a little bit of a delay. The local camera that is plugged in via a wire is going to be ahead of the camera that has to go all the way up to the internet and then come all the way back down. That's just natural. It's got further to go. So, and there's a little delay in the fact that it's got to be compressed and sent over the internet and received and then sent back over the internet to the YoloBox and then incorporated into the show. All of that takes time because it's actually got to go through the internet twice. He says, I can't live streaming in Facebook. YouTube is okay. What is the reason? If you're trying to live stream into a group, one potential problem is that you have to go into the group, or you have to have the administrator of the group go into the group administration settings and add YOLO Live as an app in the group. Otherwise, you can't push into a group. You should be able to push to any page that you own automatically as long as you have it connected. And let me show you that. Let's go over to the Pro right here, and we're actually going to exit this, and this is why I have this on another device, because I couldn't show you this. And you come up to your settings at the top. You have to attach all of these manually when you first get everything set up. So if you can't stream to Facebook, make sure you've got this set up. And then also, sometimes, like after a while, Facebook just says, you know what? You got to do it again. You got to start it over. You got to what they call rebind. You'll get a warning saying you can't do it. So what you have to do is you go into here, your Facebook, and you delete it, and then you redo it. And generally that clears most problems if you already have this connected. Unbinding it and then rebinding it, or basically deleting the connection and establishing a fresh connection, will work. And then that way, once you have that in there, it should, let me open up the show again, and we go into our destination. So if I go into this one, the Facebook one, let me move out of the way. So it says you can go to your timeline, any page that I manage, or a group. Now, the groups that are here, I had to go in, they have to be activated and have the YOLO Live as a possible poster in the group. So these only show up if that has happened. Page, however, and your own timeline should always be there. I hope that answers the question. I'm excited to see how to accomplish bringing in my cell phones with acceptable delay. Yes, there's always a little bit of delay because the cell phone has to process the video. But with that segue, let us move back to the topic at hand. And that is, we were talking about wireless video. And I had talked about using a Hollyland or other transmitter. There's many out there. And what this does is this takes your HDMI input and on the other end has HDMI outputs and wirelessly between them. That's why they have antennas. The cool things you could use on here, I have it set up. This is, I'm gonna try to hold this up to the camera. Actually look overhead and right here. I have the NDI app on here. So that's that little NDI in here. And you can call up a whole series of things. And actually, you know what I'll do? It's the NDI HX app. And what this is a networking protocol called NDI. Now, the YoloBox does not do NDI, but you can use an NDI receiver. This is actually a bird dog device. They have one, it's called the Flex, and they have one called the Flex Out. And the Flex Out has an HDMI out, and you feed the HDMI in, and then your wireless with, actually I should get one of those again. And I mentioned this in my wireless camera video, that wireless still needs something to connect the two pieces. So this device, if you were using your cell phone and you were going the remote guest, your wireless is the cellular network. That is the glue. In this case, if I'm using the NDI app, I want to be local, so I use a Google Wi-Fi puck. And these have been very reliable for me. These are the original 2016 ones. The newer ones are rounded, and I think they even re-released these with the square edge just to confuse people. But the way you can tell, the original ones are, they have a USB-C power plug right here in the middle and can be powered from a battery bank. So you're completely wireless, even for the digital glue between your phone and the YoloBox. So to put this on the table here, let's go overhead. So I have my phone talks to the Wi-Fi access point, and the Wi-Fi access point talks to my YoloBox. Now, what that means is your internet has to be coming through here because this can only connect to one Wi-Fi at a time. So the internet would come into here, the internet would come over to this device wirelessly, and at the same time, you can connect your phone through this device to talk to this or talk to this, you know, because this has got a wired output. I could wire into here, and now this is receiving the data wireless to here, wired to here, and then HDMI to here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, four steps. And they're all going to be like that, because if I'm not doing that, if I'm doing the other wireless way, which is to, don't look at my password. What I'm going to do on this device is I'm going to say connect to, I'm going to screen share to my Apple TV. And again, in the video I explained, I also have a Chromecast on here, but I'm just going to, for the sake of simplicity, I'm just going to do the Apple version, but it's the same thing. So you see I have the Chromecast plugged in right here. And I have a Roku plugged in as well, because there's apps on the Roku that will do this. But let us go right here on the Apple TV. Here's the Apple TV. And I'm going to say share to my Apple TV. So I'm going to mirror my screen in the Apple TV, and you'll see it come up with a code over here, 8212, 8212. Okay? And now, boom, that is my cell phone screen. And again, remember, the phone is not talking to the Apple TV. The phone is talking to a Wi-Fi access point, and the Wi-Fi access point is talking to the TV, because there's no Ethernet plugged into the back here. I mean, there could be, but there's a piece in between these two devices that you need to bring with you, and it has to be part of your ecosystem. To the overhead, and so what we're going to do is, did it still there? All right, let's wake it up. It says I'm still sharing. Let's do it again. Apple TV. Every time you connect, oh, it connected right back. Okay, good. Last time I did this, it asked me for the password again. So there. Now my phone is available. It's vertical, but it's at least available. And what you're going to find is, actually, let me go here. What you're going to find is I have this phone and I want to use it horizontally. If you use, push home to unlock. Oh my goodness, really? Really? That was interesting. So if I use the built-in camera app and I rotate it, you'll see it'll go sideways. But the problem is it's including all of the video, photos. Let's go to video. It's still including all of the overlays. Do you see the overlays over there? And that's not what you want. You want to get rid of those overlays. Here, let me move on. All of this stuff right here, you want this to go away. The photo, video, slow-mo, you don't want that. So what you need to do is you need to download another app. And what I have is, I'm going to close this, and then I have one called True Visage, which is free actually. And then here you go, it's got a little overlays, and then after a couple seconds, the overlays go away. And I have, you can see there is still a little bit of delay. Let's put it right up here. These are two cameras right next to each other. Oh, and of course my Z1 is focusing on the iPhone because it's in the shot. Look, look, look. Now you can see all three. It's even delayed on the phone. So do you even notice that? The delay is not so much the YoloBox, because you see the delay is also between real and what the phone sees. So there's delay in the phone. So you're not going to have zero delay, because the phones are not meant to be live video cameras. You're using them to do something, and the delay between the phone and the YoloBox is almost instantaneous. So the wireless from the phone is actually pretty fast. There's just a tiny little bit of delay at each step. And that is So my phone is going to my Wi-Fi access point. That's my invisible wire. And then my invisible wire is going from here to the Apple TV. And then I have a physical wire coming around and plugging in here. And that is how I'm getting this picture on the YoloBox Pro. Your audio is very clear. Can you share behind the scenes about this, please? Why, yes, I happen to have a wireless camera right here. Let me and let me go over to True Visage and go horizontal, and then we'll go like this. And so I have a little boom microphone right here, the audio coming out right there. The audio goes up to my camera, which is behind the prompter there, and then that comes in via HDMI 1. So as I'm talking, actually let's go to my audio mixer, audio file video, HDMI 1, and you can see my audio right there. This is the one that I'm doing the program on, and that's the audio as it's coming in. And that's basically it. The audio comes in on input 1 right there. So I hope that helps. Then, oh, sorry, you're looking at the wrong thing. My apologies. That comes in there, goes up to the camera, and then it comes in on input 1, which is the HDMI, and then you can see my levels right there on the meter. And that's basically how I do the audio for the show, because I tend to be looking down. And so instead of having the microphone up here overhead, like a lot of people do, which is great if you're presenting like this and you never look down. But in terms of doing a tech show and operating things, I'm always looking down a little bit. So moving the mic down below the camera made a whole lot of sense. Another key thing is the microphone is not mounted to the table that I work on, so that as I put things down or I'm tapping on things, you don't hear boom, 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 because it's on a separate surface. They're not connected. And so the microphone is isolated from everything that I do on the table. I mean, the picture-in-picture. I do believe so. I believe there is. Let's go back out here. Let's go back, go back. Let's go back into the show. And then we add a video source. Right down there, you see where it says triple? Right there, triple. That's what you're looking for. And actually, you can have 2 of them preset, 2 different triples with 2 different groups of people on the Pro. My name is Anthony Barocas for YOLO Live. I appreciate you being here this entire hour and 5 minutes with me, actually before show too, getting those comments in. I love hearing where everybody is, and I thank you all for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks right back here. Thanks.